Hi Pisces, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-December 2023 love reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is a look at the past, present, and future energies between you and the main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards as well for some additional insight. That's where the bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel that's the way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that away, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Princess of Arrows. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Swords. And if you look at the artwork there, we see the butterflies. It makes me think of that old term, butterflies in the stomach. And if you even think of the traditional Page of Swords energy, looks like they have a bit of a stance that points to them not being too confident, right, with what they're doing. So that could have been how you felt approaching this person in the past, where, you might have just felt a little bit nervous about coming forward to speak with them, right? So it could have just been one of those things where I feel like you still went through with it, but there was definitely a little bit of intimidation around the situation, or nervousness at a minimum. All right, past energy on their side, we have the Empress. So for some of you, maybe that points to why you might have felt that way, right? Because the Empress usually has this energy about them that tends to make people gravitate toward them. So it might have been someone who gets a lot of attention in general, so that could have been part of why you were nervous to approach. But yeah, it looks like this person was fairly isolated at the time, though, believe it or not, from the looks of it, right? But at the same time, they just tend to draw attention to them. So that could have been what was at place between the two of you. But yeah, between these two cards, it definitely looks like you were most likely the one who initiated contact within the connection. Present energy on your side, we have Transformation. And this is actually the equivalent of the Death card in traditional tarot. So we see the names Pluto and Persephone on this card as well, which to me points to this could be a bit of an on again, off again dynamic that you might have. So put it this way, either you guys have already gone through that cycle where you've left and now you're back, or vice versa, right? But at the same time, if this is the first time that you're going through the cycle with this person, I feel like this is also an indicator saying that you would come back around to each other. So this reminds me of the fact that we're about to start a Mercury retrograde too. So it could be as simple as that, right? Maybe Mercury retrograde, you guys have misunderstandings and might part ways for a bit, but to me this looks like this will be a continuous on again, off again cycle between the two of you. All right, present energy on their side, we have the Tower. So yeah, between the Tower and the Death card, pretty intense energies in the present, right? So it looks like the two of you might both be convinced, at least in a moment, that you're leaving the connection behind. Now, interestingly enough, there's no clear indicator of what would have caused this, right? So like I said, that's why it could just be as simple as a Mercury retrograde misunderstanding. So something to be on the lookout for there, given that that's about to start, but that's what I see with that. All right, and future energy on your side, we have Triumph. So huge contrast in energy, right, from the transformation to the Triumph. So this is the equivalent of the World card. But yeah, to me, this says that you guys will end up back together. So, especially given how dramatic these cards seem in the present, you might not necessarily feel that way if you guys have just gone through that separation or if it comes up in the immediate future. But this future card seems to point to the fact that, yeah, you guys will get things back on track. So it looks like it'll be a temporary separation for most of you. All right, and future energy on their side, we have the Six of Pentacles. So this is a Taurus energy. Of course, not really going to top the level of the Triumph card, but at the same time, this is another energy that points to balance being restored. So yeah, like I said, it could just be as simple as you guys have a misunderstanding in the present, things get blown out of proportion for a bit, you guys spend a little time apart, come back together, both willing and ready to work toward building a connection. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Princess of Cups. So this is actually the equivalent of the Page of Cups in traditional tarot. So yeah, another page energy here, but this time related more to emotions versus communication. So given that your back is turned to the cards on the side, it could just be saying that for whatever reason, even if you did open up and initially start the communication with this person, there might have been resistance on your part regarding expressing actual feelings for this person. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Seven of Swords. So interesting energy here because normally when I mention the Empress energy, I don't necessarily say that they would be isolated, right? But just looking at the surroundings there made me think that, right? We just see a couple of pets there, but adding this to it definitely seems to point to that. So yeah, this could just be a person that maybe normally they would function in more of an Empress energy, but they could have just had some other things going on that are causing them to push people away right now. So it could just be one of those things, right, where you just have those two energies collide and it could make things worse than they are in the moment. But it looks like they will be coming out of that, given that we see that Six of Pentacles energy in the future. And like I said, seeing that you have the Triumph energy in the future. So yeah, something tells me you pick up on this too, because if we look at this, we see those swords placed at all of the table placements. So to me, this is saying that most likely it wouldn't just be you that would get that type of treatment from them, right? So if you just observe, you might see someone else, they might push them away as well. So it could just be something that they're going through right now that might make it hard to really connect with them. But like I said, it looks like you guys will be reconnecting in the future. All right, moving on to your Oracle cards. First, we'll see what we get from the messages off Oracle card deck here. Just going to pull a single card from this deck. Oh, got one there. All right, and next we'll see what we get from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Just one card from this deck as well, and then we'll read the messages from both cards and wrap the reading up with that. All right, and got one there. Making a mess over here. But first, let's take a look at the messages of love card. Okay, we have healing. It says old wounds and childhood issues need revisiting. So yeah, I mean, I would have to say that it seems a little bit more likely that this could be what this person's situation is on the right here, given what I was saying about the Empress and mentioning the word isolated, and then seeing that Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck for them. So yeah, it could just be one of those things that they might be coming to the realization that that could be a pattern that they're in, right? So it could just be saying as far as that goes, with a little bit more time, that would be less prevalent, and that could help you out within the connection. All right, and then from the Wisdom Oracle, we have Blessed. Get that to focus. Or maybe not. There we go. All right, and there's the artwork for it, and the number is 22. So let's see what this has to say. All right. Certainly at least seems positive, but we'll read the actual relationship message. Okay, it says you are moving toward a deepening of intimacy in a unique and sacred partnership. You know you are meant to make this connection. This union, blessed by the divine, will bring transformation and beauty to the world. This is also a sign that, even more important, you're being called to a deeper intimacy with yourself and spirit. With this new development, you will see evidence of grace in your life. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, right? Because for some of you, maybe your test in the situation was to be willing to step away, right? So like I said, if this person's just pushing everyone away, and maybe your normal response would be to insist on trying to get them to, open up, this could just be saying maybe a lesson for you was to say, well, you know what, okay, let me give this some space. And then that could be why this is showing up as a triumph for you, right? Because that might have broken a pattern for you where you constantly try to force your way into those situations with people who are pushing you away. And then on their end, as we see, like I said, I feel like the healing was pointing more to them. So as they go through that cycle, looks like you guys will both be a lot more open to the connection in the future. So hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there. Hope you have a good holiday season and new year, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.